Well, hello subbies. I am really putting myself out there here and showing you the true texture of my hair. So to start, you need heat protectant, virgin coconut oil, thermal finishing spray, some Moroccan Aragan oil, some clips, and a hairbrush. So as you can tell, I have lots of hair. It is freshly washed. It is like a lion mane. And if you have hair like mine, I'm going to help you out. So this is the Croc Classic Iron. It is tourmaline and I love it. Never ever put your iron higher than 390 degrees. I know a lot of people say 400 is okay, but you can really damage your hair. Hair actually burns at 400 degrees and you don't want to be doing that to your hair. It's better to take smaller sections and just go over it a couple times than to just burn it off. So first things first, we use our heat protectant spray. I got this at Sally's. It's generic for a more expensive brand. Definitely a good one. Definitely important to use more than anything. I am going to spray this generously all over my hair. What's great about the way that I do my hair is I let it air dry. Therefore, there is not a double heat baking situation with the blowing out and then the ironing. So I let it dry naturally and then I put a bunch of this stuff on and it works. I don't know about you, but I have sensitive hands, so I use my glove, my heat glove that came with my curling wand, and I use this to protect my hand when I iron my hair. I suggest it. I've burned my fingers way too many times. So you start with your hairbrush. This one is actually a blowout brush, but I'm using it to detangle my hair. You can use any brush for this, obviously. This also helps to distribute the heat protectant throughout your hair and kind of dry it out because you don't want to iron your hair while it's wet. And anyway, even if it's heat protectant, you want it to be completely dry before you start ironing or you will fry your hair. And so we don't want that to happen. So what I do is I tie my hair in two ponytails, split down the middle, and detangle it completely, and then I start on my ironing. So I start with my Moroccan Aragan oil, extra penetrating for dry and coarse hair, and I take out my ponytail on one side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pretty good size amount, probably a dime size amount throughout my hair, and I kind of just feel it. If your hair feels drier, put more. You might need a little bit more. Curly hair is very porous, and I did have blonde hair at some point, so I do have some damage. Therefore, I have to put more oil on there. It also protects it. So there it is. It's at 390. I will never go over 390. Don't do it. You will burn your hair. So I put my glove back on, my trusty glove, and then I take a tiny section, probably about inch by inch. So I split it, and then I split that in half and tie my hair up. So I brush through that hair that I put that serum on, and I make sure it's completely smoothed out. This is the key to making a nice, even distribution of heat. I go closest to the root and I smooth it out, not clamping too hard and letting go at the ends. And I do it again, further at the end. And you kind of have to look at it and see where the waves are. Never pinch it too hard and let it go. And if there are any waves, I brush through that. And then I just go over it again. It's kind of better to do it this way because you're cooling it down if you brush it in between. Every time you brush it through in between ironing it, you're cooling it off. So then now I'm reapplying it closest to the root where that wave was, and I'm just ironing it straight. So again, once you do this, you're going to see some steam coming up, but that's the product that's being steamed up. It's not your hair burning, it's just the product that you put on it. If you don't have any steam, that's a little scary because that means you forgot to put heat protectant, and we have a couple layers of heat protectant here, so we're protecting it as much as possible even though we are putting heat on it. Now as you can see, there's a lot of shine there, there's a lot of straightness there, and you eyeball it in those tiny sections, and then you take out another small section. And this is pretty much how I do my hair. I do it section by section, about 1 inch at a time, and about a quarter, maybe a millimeter thick of a section from top to bottom. And I just brush it through again, I iron it, and then I brush it through again. And if there are any waves, I will iron it, go over it again with the iron. Then I'll brush it again to cool it off and smooth it out. And so I'm just going to speed it up from here because otherwise this is just very slow, tedious, and boring. And yes, I do this, but I do not do this every day. I do this once every 5 days. Curly hair can go longer without washing because we don't have a lot of moisture in our hair in the first place, so I have to leave it like this, and the key is to not get it wet. And once you get it wet, it's curly again. So I always have an umbrella handy when I have my hair straight. I do have my hair curly once in a while, but it's to me a lot more work because I have to reapply lots of product. But you curly girls know what it's like. You have to buy tons of products to fill your hair up with and weigh your hair down with in order to leave it curly. So I kind of like it smooth a lot of the time, especially since I got this new iron. I wanted to use it and put it to good use. It is very nice and keeps my hair really shiny. Most of the time I do not have to re-iron my hair throughout the week. I try not to. I try to keep the least amount of heat on it as possible. So this is how I do it, little by little, section by section. But from this point on, I'm gonna speed it up. Okay, so this is half of my hair straight. What I like to do is I put this virgin coconut oil on as just an anti-frizz. I don't do it beforehand because pretty much you're frying your hair like in a frying pan if you use it ahead of time, but do your own thing if that's your thing. But I use this as an anti-frizz serum afterwards, and it really is the best thing you can use because it actually is the only oil that goes to the root, to the depth of your actual cuticle, and it will heal. But you have to use organic coconut oil. I got this one for $10 on sale from Publix, and it's a huge bottle, as you can see. Anyway, so this is half of my hair. I am going to just come back with the rest of my hair done. Otherwise it would be a huge long video because I have a tremendous amount of hair. So we'll be back and you'll see the finishing product. Okay, so this is the finished product. Obviously it doesn't look damaged. It's shiny. The coconut oil does a lot for the end result. You do not have to have an expensive iron in order to do this. It's just technique. It's all about technique. It's all about heat protection and then serum because curly hair is very porous and dry, and then also just brushing it as you do it to cool it off in between, and then just adding the organic coconut oil to your ends and everything at the end. Let me show you the back. So that's the finished product. I hope this helps you curly girls out there, and see you later. Bye.